Hey Stampers, welcome to Brandy's Cards. So the weather's getting cooler and I'm really excited to break out some Halloween cards, some fall projects. And so today I had some fun playing with the Jar of Haunts stamp set. So before I go further showing you that stamp set, the Stampin' Up! Holiday catalog is in full swing. Absolutely fantastic. Lots of great stamp sets and coordinating framelits and things like that. So lots and lots of inspiration ideas inside the holiday catalog. So today we are going to use the stamp set that is on page, well, I know it's here towards the back. I think it's on page 50. Oh, there it is right there. Page 55. Love this stamp set. Look at these fun little jars. You've got the little treats you can put in there. Of course, a little goo if you want to make it spooky. But I just love this little pumpkin. So I was excited to kind of play with the pumpkin and come up with a fun little card for you with that. So that is the stamp set that we're going to use today. Here it is, the actual stamp set. It is a photopolymer set, so it's only available in photopolymer, which is the completely clear stamp. Also, it does coordinate with the Jar of Love, a stamp set, and also the framelits, the Jar of Love framelits. So, you know, it's kind of neat how it all sort of works together. And let me show you here out of the, this is the card we're going to do today. It's got the fun pumpkin. We've got the washi tape from the Affectionately Yours Designer Series washi tape. Super cute. So you can see that along the edge. Of course, we've got our linen thread. There's the pumpkin out of the Jar of Haunts stamp set right there. Really cute. And then you'll see I took the Thankful, Grateful, and Blessed out of the Paisleys and Poisies stamp set. So very fun, super easy card. I'm excited to get started, show you exactly how I made it so that maybe you can make a fall card for one of your friends, family, or just to surprise somebody, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and get started. It's pretty easy. All you need is some Whisper White paper. I've got pumpkin pie as well as cucumber crush. Now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to fold my cardstock in half. This is my base. It's pretty easy. Now I do have to tell you all of the sizes and dimensions will be on brandyscards.com. So I'm not going to go over that with you here today, but if you hop on over to brandyscards.com, if you go over to the very top in the right navigation, in the navigational bar, more on the right hand side, you're going to see videos. Click on videos and all of my videos are going to come up for you. So you're going to be able to find this card. Of course, in the search bar, you can always type in there Affectionately Yours for the washi tape. You can also put in there the Paisleys and Poisies stamp set or the Jar of Haunts. That's all going to make this project come up. So there's different ways that you can search. So now what we're going to do is I cut an extra sheet of cardstock. And again, sizes and dimensions will be on Brandy's cards. And we're going to emboss it with the Sparkles, the new Sparkles embossing folder. I like this embossing folder a lot. It's just really fun. Kind of reminds me of the stars a little bit, but it's a little different. I've got a piece of Whisper White cardstock. I'm just going to put it inside my embossing folder. I've already got my Big Shot set up. I'm going to make my sandwich, run this guy through here, so that I can get a really nice impression. Now, you know, I've been getting a lot of questions lately about how to get a deeper impression out of my embossing folders. And, you know, honestly, you can absolutely spritz your paper with a little bit of water, which makes it a little bit damp, which allows you to kind of get a deeper impression. You know, I don't really do that too often, but what I do on occasion is I'll put a shim. So I'll put like an extra piece of cardstock on top of my top layer of my sandwich, which just gives it that little bit of extra pressure, which makes it push a little bit harder. Now, you know, we do have the new cable embossing folder. That one is fabulous, and that one is meant to have a deeper impression. All right, so let's go to our designer washi tape. This is just so much fun to work with. I also have a Christmas card that I'm excited to show you with some washi tape. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take our washi tape. I loved the fact that this green, when you put it, it's got the white in it. So when you put it on white cardstock, it just really pops through. So basically right down the spine of my card is where I put my washi tape. And you know, the nice thing about washi tape is it just tears right off, so it's really fantastic. And of course, if you put it in the wrong spot, you can kind of pull it back up and try again. Now, I'm not sure, I haven't really tried how many times I can do that, but you can definitely pull it up and try again if you need to. Now we've got our Sparkles embossed paper. I'm going to glue that right here on top of my Whisper White cardstock. Now I know some of you might say, well, why didn't you just emboss the base and then you don't have to use an extra sheet of paper? Well, there's a couple reasons that I didn't just emboss the base. Number one is because I wanted my washi tape to lay flat. Originally, when I embossed the base and I put my washi tape on there, it didn't lay flat and it was a little bumpy, and I didn't really like that. You know, I wanted it to have that just the really flat, clean look. The other reason is, as you can see here, when I layer this down and I glue this piece of cardstock on top, it acts as another layer. It actually looks like there's another layer there, and I liked that. It kind of made my card feel a little bit more substantial. So I just thought that was kind of cool. But you can certainly emboss the base and then put your washi tape down if you don't mind that. Now what I have here is some Stampin' Up! Linen thread. This has probably always by far been my favorite thread. I just like the way it looks, especially for a fall type card. You know, but you could use any type of thread. You could use burlap. You could use all kinds of stuff that here on this side. I'm just going to go ahead and wrap this around twice. I found that when I did it once, I just didn't get as much coverage, or you couldn't see it as well, I suppose you should say. But when I did 2 layers, I just really liked the way that looked. But it's entirely up to you. I recommend that you just play with it and see what you like. There is no right or wrong ways, and I think you guys know that. It's just more about having fun. So right here, I'm just going to tie a knot. Nothing too crazy. Now I do have kind of a hard time tying bows with this this thread, only because it's so thin. It is a little bit harder for me to do a bow, but it's not too terrible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just kind of pull my thread here, and by doing that I can snip off the excess, which allows me to leave a really nice kind of flat knot there. All right, so we're going to set that aside. Now the fun part, let's get stamping. I have my Cucumber Crush cardstock, my Whisper White. I have chocolate chip here, and I also have my Cucumber Crush. I've got Cucumber Crush ink pad Early Espresso because I wanted a little bit darker stem, and then I have Tangerine Tango to stamp on pumpkin pie. So first off, I'm going to take, and I've already mounted my leaf. I'm going to stamp a couple of my leaves right here on Cucumber Crush. See how nice that just pops off there beautifully. Now if you have some mist, you can put some Stampin' Mist on here. Honestly, I've been stamping all day, so this thing is wet, and I really didn't need to go and do that. So I'm not spraying anything on it. Now I'm over here to my Early Espresso. I'm going to stamp my leaf again on my chocolate chip. And again, the only reason that I'm doing that is because I want a brown stem, not a green one. Here we've got Tangerine Tango for my pumpkin pie cardstock. And there's my cute little pumpkin. That's perfect. So we're all done with that. So now what I'm going to do is I am just going to snip these things out. So it's really easy. The pumpkin obviously is by far the easiest. Just kind of trim around the edges and snip this guy out. Okay, so once we get him out, it's perfect. Now I'm going to cut my stem out of my Early Espresso stamped stem, right? And so that kind of brings it to life a little bit more. So we're going to get that guy cut out. Perfect. And you know, you don't have to do it perfectly. Just do the best that you can. Nobody's going to know what's right or what's wrong. This is your project. So just do the best that you can. And even if you leave a little bit of green or white around the edges, it's perfectly okay. Trust me on that one. So I'm going to just kind of work around my leaf here. This is probably the hardest one because it's kind of dinky and it's tiny, but it's not too bad. All right, so there's my leaf. I've actually got another leaf stamped here to save a little bit of time. So I have 2 here. I did that on purpose just to kind of save a little bit of time for you today. All right, so let's put our card together. I do have my stamp set here. There we go. The Blessed, Thankful, Grateful, Blessed. I loved this. Well, I love the stamp set. This has been a beautiful stamp set. But I really liked this greeting. I just feel so blessed in my life for so many things. I just thought it was beautiful. And I've made a lot of these thank you notes for customers. So I'm behind in my thank you notes, but I have been making a ton. So some of you will receive this card and others will receive a fun Halloween card that I'm getting ready to send out as well. So over here is Early Espresso. We're going to ink this guy up. Now I always recommend stamping it first on your grid paper. And I do that just to make sure that it's lined up. And this one's stamped beautifully, so we should be good to go. Now I've got my little Whisper white paper. I'm gonna stamp my Thankful, Grateful, Blessed straight down, straight up, and it's stamped great. Let's go ahead and use some of our Tombow glue and glue it down. Adhere it to the top of our Cucumber Crush. There we go. We're just gonna center it right in there. Perfect. Now I've got some Stampin' Dimensionals. And before I pop up that cute pumpkin, pull out your mini glue dots, okay? So grab your mini glue dots, grab these guys, and what you're gonna do is first off, I recommend taking your stem and you wanna get yourself a mini glue dot. I just like to stick it right on top and then it just kind of pulls right off. And then stick your mini glue dot right behind your pumpkin. So now I have a pumpkin with a stem, okay? Then I have my 2 leaves. So we're gonna take our 2 leaves and I'm gonna do the exact same thing. I'm gonna push them down the base of the leaf right here on top of my mini glue dot. And I'm gonna pull them off and I'm just gonna kind of figure out where I like them behind my pumpkin and just sort of place them, you know. I kind of had one going one direction and the other one going the other way. I just thought the color was beautiful. We're gonna flip our pumpkin over and add a couple Stampin' Dimensionals so we can give it a little bit of lift. We're gonna set it right here. Now I like it centered. Now, you know, and as I looked at this card, I kept thinking to myself, you know, I kind of see yellow too, and I really didn't have an opportunity to play with it further. But for some reason, I just feel like I see a yellow flower with maybe a, you know, just kind of a fun center of some sort next to my pumpkin for just like a pop of color. So you have to try that. Let me know how it goes. Again, I hadn't had a chance, but I do kind of feel like I want to see a flower or something else next to my pumpkin. But I love this card as is. So that's just an idea that I thought I would throw out at you to see what you guys come up with. So I've got my Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of my Cucumber Crush. Now when I'm setting it on my card, I'm actually going to center this piece between the edge of the card and at the edge of the washi tape. So I'm not actually centering it in the whole 4 1/4 card. I'm just, or I should say, yeah, 4 1/4. So I'm only centering it between the white. And I do like to make sure when I space it that I am staying with the same amount of space at the top, the right, and the left side. I just think it's a little bit more eye-pleasing if you can do that. Now, one thing I can tell you is it's so funny because when you emboss and you go to stick your stuff down, it's like, gosh, is it crooked? Because sometimes if you get your paper in your embossing folder crooked, then the pattern behind it's a little crooked, so it kind of plays tricks on your eyes a little bit. But anyway, so here is today's card. I just think it's absolutely fun. It's adorable. I'm just so thankful. I feel grateful for all of you for watching my channel, for loving Stampin' Up! As much as I do. I just feel really blessed to be a part of this and to be able to share with you today. So I hope that you have an opportunity to take a look at the catalog. Of course, if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, feel free to send me an email, visit brandyscards.com, and fill out my catalog request form. I'd love the opportunity to answer your questions, earn your business. I'll send you some catalogs so you too can enjoy some crafting and we can get you started. So thank you so much for stopping by, and happy fall, y'all. Thanks, bye.